Hey everybody, welcome back to Electric Cafe. Today's album review is on Peter Murphy's 1995 album Cascade. Um, this is my second Peter Murphy album that I'm reviewing for my channel. I did his second album, Hysteria, which I gave a 77 out of 100, really strong score. Um, this is his fifth solo album. Here's my original cassette and my original CD. And here's a copy of the gatefold vinyl, which came out in like 2017 or 2016, I think it was. Always great to give it, and they did a great job on this one too. It's just double vinyl. This is how you properly give a good album a review. I mean a reissue. Nice gatefold, new pictures, still the original art, double record, good weight to it. Nice reissue. The Peter Murphy reissues are really strong. And even if they are, some of them are colored. Um, I feel like my beginning with Peter Murphy started with Bauhaus back in probably like '87. And then I immediately became a huge fan once I heard Bauhaus, and my brother ended up getting all their early cassettes, and we ended up getting from then out followed Peter Murphy all the way through. I've probably seen Peter Murphy in concert probably 8 or 9 times. I saw him in 1999. I saw him in 2002. I saw him a lot during his 2014 to 2017. He had quite a few shows in there, the strip tour, and of course I saw him a couple times in Bauhaus as well. So Peter Murphy has always been one of my favorite concerts to go to. I love his energy on stage, and he always brings a good balance of his music out, and I really like the scene at Peter Murphy shows too. There's a good balance of kind of goth and rock and new romantic. It always seems like the people that go to Peter Murphy shows are really cool, kind of my people, and or at least the people I want to be around in a concert. I always feel like people that like Peter Murphy have good taste in music. I always kind of felt that for some reason. It's kind of silly, but I'm sure there's always bands that you kind of, if somebody says they like a certain band, you're like, oh, okay, you must have good taste in music. Well, if somebody says they like Peter Murphy, then I'll think that. If somebody says Depeche Mode, I still may be a little bit like, okay, well, a lot of people like Depeche Mode, but not somebody's going to come out and say they like Peter Murphy. And so, I always felt like that was a good example of somebody, if they have some good taste, if they know Peter Murphy's, especially his solo stuff. I really like his solo stuff. Um, I think in the grand scheme of things, when it's compared to his Bauhaus stuff, it's criminally overlooked. I know Deep is a really important album, and or not really important album, but it's his most popular album and sort of has his most popular song. But if you like Peter Murphy at all and you don't know Peter Murphy's solo albums, then you're missing out on a lot of good music. Um, I really feel like Deep was kind of, Hysteria was kind of was a very interesting album. Deep he kind of came into his own and was like, okay, this, it seemed like it was kind of like Hysteria to a different level, but because all the signs are there in Hysteria that he could do an album like Deep. I mean, you got the popular songs on there already. I mean, All Night Long and Indigo Eyes. Indigo Eyes could easily be as good as Cuts You Up. In my opinion, it's almost there, and All Night Long is a classic in its own right. I think it's a great transition from Bauhaus to solos music. And when you think of the moodier music on there, like Marlene Dietrich's or Strange Kind of Love, like those great ballads, There's some great ballads on Hysteria too. My Last 2 Weeks and uh, the other song on there that I can't think of. There's another good ballad on there. Um, it always bothers me when I can't think of a song. But Holy Smoke is its own kind of album, and that has an early '90s sound to it. But Cascade, I feel like, is deep, not deep 2.0, but deep. A more I don't want to say adult contemporary version of deep, but it's more a mature Peter Murphy version of deep. And I think the songs are really strong on here, consistently strong, and highly underrated. Um, if you're a big Deep fan, you know that if you're this is kind of an extension to it. You know, in some ways, it's not as raw as his '80s sounds, but you know, this is a well polished album, and again, more adult, more matured album. I feel like Peter is at his peak in this album, though. Like of all the albums that I know really well, and unfortunately, the albums after the '90s, after Cascade, weren't very good. Um, you know, but his comeback in 2012 or 13 or was with Ninth. I think Ninth is a really underrated album too, and Lion is a really strong album. I think those albums are really good. I kind of hoped he would have done a third album in that time. Maybe Peter Murphy will do a new album. I think it would be great to hear a new Peter Murphy album. It's been too long. It's been a decade, and it's almost been 10 years since he toured. So I'd like to see him do another couple more albums. You know, at least tour again. You know, but when I think of this album, there's a lot of good songs on here, and there's no lackluster songs on here. There's no songs I have under the lowest song rating I have on here is 2.25 stars. So over good, and there's no song that's under good in here. You know, I think the amount of good songs on here is really important for it too. Because I mean, you got 11 songs on here, and I think even as much as you like Deep, who wants two versions of well, whatever, what's the song on Deep that there's it's at the end, Roll Call? Yeah, there's two versions of Roll Call on there, and they're pretty much the same. And Roll Call is probably the weakest song on there, but there's two versions of it. Go figure. And they're both like long. And so if you take those two songs off there, I think there's 8 or 9 songs. Here you got 11 songs. And all of these are better than Roll Call. That's for sure. If I think besides Roll Call, maybe the weakest song on Deep might be Shy. The other songs on there are really good. Crystal, Riss, Seven Veils, A Deep Ocean Vast Sea, Marlene Dietrich, Some Kind of Wonderful, Cuts You Up. I might be missing one other song in there, but those are all high tier Peter Murphy songs. All of those. I think it was at 6, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. All 6. I'm missing one. I think 7, and then 8 and 9 is Roll Call because there's 9 on there. I think. Um, it's kind of the upbeat one I'm missing. That one's okay actually. Um, I can't think of what it's called. But if you look at the top 6 songs of Deep, you take off Shy. Okay, so you take off Shy, right? All these songs are better than Shy too. You know, so I'd probably give Shy like 2.25 stars, 2.5, 2, maybe 2. So it's on pace with the lowest song on here. So then when you eliminate those, you got maybe 6 songs for Peter Murphy. You got 10 or 11 on here that are strong over what Shy is. So you almost have double the amount of good songs on Cascade that you do have on Deep. Yet Deep is considered his best album. You know, and it's going to be interesting for me to compare the two and rate. You know, I'm kind of giving away my maybe my score on here, but it's going to be interesting rating Deep to Cascade, and then also even Holy Smoke to Hysteria, and then see how sort of Ninth and Lion, his last 2 albums, sort of factor into the ratings. It's gonna be interesting to see that because I'm a big Peter Murphy fan. I don't hide it at all. Am I a little bit biased in my score? I think maybe a little bit, and we'll see. If you're if you're a so Peter Murphy song fan, maybe you'll see by my ratings here if you think I might be. But if you know these songs, if you heard these songs, am I overrating these? You you could probably tell me what your opinion is. Mirror to My Woman's Mind. I really like the guitar and the voice. I think Peter Murphy does some of his best singing on this album too. I think it's a really good album, good song. Excuse me, 2.5 stars. Subway. What can you say about Subway? Probably my all-time favorite Peter Murphy song. One of my all-time favorite songs. Period. In fact, I wrote more on this song than I think I've ever written about any song that I've reviewed because there's so much to say on this. The keyboards, it's eerie. Peter Murphy's voice is so haunting on here. It's got a slight Eastern vibe to it, which is really cool. The beat's great. Bass line is great. I love how it's just atmospheric in the first chorus. There's no beat, and then it sort of gets into the beat after the chorus. I think that's really clever. There is a place where we can meet. Love the lyrics on this song, and I like it too because there is a place where we can meet, and the song is called Subway. It's not like we're a place where we can meet. It's a restaurant or it's a hotel or something something that is inconsequential, but it's a subway. I find that interesting because when you think of the subway, you don't necessarily think of the subway as a popular place to meet. First of all, it's a place of getting to somewhere, right? So there's a place where we can meet. He's going somewhere. He's meeting them to go somewhere. I find that, even though it still sounds fairly simple, I think that is cooler than saying, there's a place where we can meet and sort of just meeting up and not saying where. Like the song is the subway. Why would you meet up at the subway? I find that kind of interesting. The last 2 minutes of the song are pure magic, and I think that's the great thing about this song is there's only two verses and there really is no chorus. The music is the chorus. I think that's how good the music is. The song doesn't even need a chorus. That's how awesome the song is. The guitar becomes epic. Um, the piano adds a nice addition to the ending, just adds the perfect touch to it. Right around 3 minutes and 19 seconds. I had to pinpoint where it is. Um, and also, there's this subliminal thing going, or it's not. I don't know if it's subliminal, but it kind of catches up on you. There's the rhythm of the song in the very last minute. As the guitar perks up and sort of the piano adds, and the melody is about to fade out. I mean, the melody is about to come in. It's coming up to a big crescendo. There's a part where it sounds like the rhythm is picking up a little bit. It's very slight. I still haven't fully. I don't know if it's a percussion, if it's something he's doing with the toms, but I feel like it's just speeding up just a little bit and going in, and it because it builds up, right? It gets all atmospheric if you know the song, and then his voice, and then it kind of goes into the music, right? And then it feel like it picks up a little bit of pace in it, and it's so it picks up a little pace and goes into a fade out, which for this particular sound and this song and everything that's going on musically, like just those little changes. I mean, no beat on the first chorus, I mean on the first verse, right? No really chorus because it's melodic. Then the big drop off swell, rhythm picks up. It just the pacing of the song is so perfect, and it's and then it fades out so perfectly too that it just makes you want to play the song for hours and hours. And I've done it for hours and hours. I've played it before, and I just can't say enough about this song. Like it's the most awesome song. It's dark. It's moody. It's got an Eastern vibe to it. Like I said before, it's just a magical song. It's just so awesome. I just, I'm just like there's not too many songs that I'm just drawing a blank on. And this song will be 30 years old next year, 1995. It's just if I could give it more than 5 stars, I would. It's 5 stars all day. Subway, amazing song. Wow, amazing song. Um, it's such a good song that I knew I was going to rate it 5 stars going into it. I mean, I was just like, yeah, 5 stars. That's going to be a 5 star song for sure. I think I've given out maybe, I think I've done maybe 210 reviews right now, and I think I've given maybe 10 to 15 5 star songs. Maybe, and I'm probably stretching it. It's probably closer to like 7 to 10. Because I'm trying to think of which ones I did. I know I did Being Boring. Um, oh, I won't sit here and think about all the ones I did, but maybe I'll go over that in a upcoming video. And that'll be the overall ending when I rank the songs. So, here's the top. Here's all the songs that were rated 5. Here's all the songs that were rated 4 3/4. Here's all the ones that were rated 4.5 and go all the way down to 4. That, and then that'll end up being like my favorite 500 songs, probably anything over a 4. Because on average, I think every album I probably give on average maybe 1 4, maybe 2, right? So some none. Like my last one, I gave none. Well, not Kick, but the other album I reviewed today. Yeah, Kaleidoscope by Susie Banshees. I didn't give any 4 stars on that one. So I would say on average maybe 1 to 2 somewhere in there I would give per album 4 stars a song on there, but 5 stars maybe 7. I don't give 5 stars a lot. I really reserve that for the elite and Subway. Amazing. Gliding Like a Whale. This is where the album kind of takes a little bit of a down. Gliding Like a Whale it's a good song. It's a little cheesy, but I still think it's a really good song. I got 2.25 stars, and then the album just gets better and better from them. Just gets so consistent through there. Disappearing I like a little bit better. Has a little bit more edge to it than Gliding Like a Whale. 2 3/4 stars, and then Mercy Rain 3 stars. Super smooth song. I'll Fall on Your Knife 3 3/4 stars. Scarlet Thing in You 3.25 stars. Solid single. Even better, Sails Wave Goodbye 3 3/4 stars. Cool beat, guitar lick, nice melody, good chorus. The last minute is really smooth when he sort of ad libs. Let me know, let me know. It's kind of does that stuff. Um, Colliding. I have a good Peter Murphy impression. I should do that sometime. Um, my voice is like if I was ever a singer, I'd be a baritone for sure. Because there's some Peter Murphy songs I can sing really well. Um, Not really. Uh, I'm exaggerating, but I think I can sing. Maybe in a shower, like everybody can sing, right? Everybody can sing good in the shower. Do you know why everybody sounds good in the shower? It's the acoustics. Everybody sounds good in the shower. It's the acoustics of the shower. Plus, there's probably rain and water. There's water in your ear too, right? So you think you sing good because you're kind of like muffled in one ear, right? And you're like, you do hit some good notes when you only have one ear. You can kind of feel the resonance of your voice, of the deeper tone, and then you can hear out of one ear, and then everybody has a good voice. But then put yourself in a studio, nothing around, and your ears perfectly open. You're like, okay, I'm not a good singer. Wild Birds Flock to Me, also 3 3/4. Huvola, also 3 3/4. 3 tracks in a row, 3 3/4 stars. Awesome ending. Cascade, 4 stars. Just last 4 or 5 songs. I mean, every song, the last 6 7 songs in a row are just awesome. Back to Wild Birds Flock to Me, the epic verses. The bridge is nice. It's moody. Leads to the last chorus, which is great. Vuvola's tribal drums, piano, the way it's sung, the melody, eerie. 3 and 3/4 stars. Again, Cascade, beautiful keyboards, darker, powerful song. Great end of the album song. 4 stars. Man, a great album. So yeah, when I think of you'd be thinking I'm going so off on this, I'm going to rate this like a 90 or something like that, right? But I just really excited. But I'm balanced in my opinion. I think in my critiquing, I'm not going off. I'm still excited, but I'm I got this album at an 80 out of 100. I think it's an excellent album. It's at the bottom of it, but it's such a personal, great album on me because there's so many good songs on here. It's just I have what do I have here? Oh, I forgot to. Yeah, so there's one. What is that? 7, 10. So 8 of the 11 songs are 3 stars or better. So 8 of the 11 are very good songs. I got the overall 37 out of 11 divided by 11, which is a 3.36, which is around 77, 78, somewhere around there. So I gave it a couple extra points and pushed it up to 80. I think it's an excellent album. Um, yeah, as far as the opportunities, if there's, um, I think there is an opportunity for a better order of the songs. When you put Huvola and Cascade at the end, they're the two longest songs. They're the two most epic, kind of moody songs that aren't with a beat. Why would you put them at the last two? It still makes the album okay, but I feel like it could have been better if you put maybe who Cascade should have opened up the album. I do like it as a great ending song, but I think Huvola is even a better ending song. Put Cascade at one, and it would open the track very eerily, be a great opener, and then go right into Subway, which is a great track. Mirror to My Woman's Mind, I think it's a good precursor of where the album goes because I think the sound and the length and the pacing and everything there's a lot of songs that sound like Mirror to My Mind. Mirror to My Mind, Gliding Like a Whale, Disappearing, Mercy Rain Out, Fall with Your Knife are sort of, I wouldn't say they're interchangeable, but they're all kind of in the same vibe. Um, so it's a great precursor to put Mirror to My Woman's Mind as the first track because that's what you're going to hear. But I think considering this album is a longer album on the longer side, 11 songs, and you're probably pushing 55, probably almost pushing 60 minutes. It's on the longer side of an album. I think putting the last two longest songs at the end, I think it would have been better to kind of put one in the middle or at the start, and I think that would kind of balance out the album a little bit more. But that's the only critique I have about this album. Love the artwork, love the sound of the album, produced really well, lots of great instrumentation on here. Um, it may not have the unique sounds on this album that say Deep or even Hysteria has as far as the 100 Men. If you guys know, the 100 Men was the original backing band of Peter Murphy, and I think they were only used on the first two albums. And then Peter Murphy sort of went into sort of session players and different players on either Holy Smoke or this album. I can't remember. I think it's Holy Smoke. But the 100 Men were fantastic. Great rhythm, unique instruments. It was a little bit more on the. I know with Peter Murphy being, living in Turkey and is he Muslim? I can't remember. I'm not, can't fully remember. But he has a little bit more of an Eastern vibe on a lot of his music. And I find that really interesting. And Hysteria kind of has the most of that. So I wouldn't say Cascade has as many interesting instruments as Hysteria does. Hysteria has a lot of and I think that's what makes it a higher score than people give it credit for because it's a very unique sounding album. There's some unique sounding songs on there, and they're all over the place. And but Cascade is like the most complete. Well, we'll see. We'll see with Deep. You know, because Deep definitely has more 4-star songs. Cuts you up. Some kind of wonderful. Some kind of wonderful. A strange kind of love. Marlene and Dietrich's 4 stars probably. I would think either Ocean Vast Sea, Deep Ocean Vast Sea, Crystal Risks, or Seven Veils. I think one of those would probably get 4 stars. It'd be close, but at the very least, that album has three 4-star songs on it. This one has two, so maybe the higher highs are better on Deep, but this one again has 11 songs. All songs are over good. I don't think I'd give Roll Call 2 stars. You know, and there's two roll calls, so kind of comparing the albums here and not kind of getting away from this album a little bit, but yeah, I think this is a really underrated album in his career, and it's always been a favorite of mine. And you know, I think this one kind of solidified Peter Murphy for me as being a great solo artist. Because Hysteria was sort of like I bought Hysteria, my brother bought Deep. Deep was sort of his album. Hysteria was sort of mine. And then I bought Holy Smoke, and I was like, oh, it's a good album. There's quite a few good songs on there as well, and I think that one's even underrated to an extent, but it doesn't quite have the rock songs on that song as it does on some of the other albums. But Cascade was like probably my most played album of 1995. You know, probably one of my favorite albums of that year. It was kind of a down year, obviously, right? I mean, there was no Cure album that year. There's no There was no New Order album that year. There was no Pet Shop Boys album that year. There was no Depeche Mode album that year. You know, Peter Murphy was probably my favorite album that year. As far as you know, popular music, you know, non-electronic music. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Cascade. 80 out of 100. Really strong album. Excellent.